This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show and InstinctForSurvival.com. Well, folks, long time no here. I'm working intently to get all of my equipment, the old equipment, let's say, that I was using to do all my commentary on before the hacking and the break-in of the Anti-COINTELPRO Show. And this was right before the election. So yeah, that happened, and that's a big part of the reason why I've been relying heavily on the aggregation side of the show. And I've been doing that since the show began. And that's basically to shine a light on the people that are telling the narrative that I think needs to be told. So that's why there is so much aggregation of videos from around the web on the Anti-COINTELPRO Show now. And right after the beginning of the year, I will be going back to the half and half, the half commentary, half aggregation format of the show, as soon as I have the equipment that will supply the audio that I believe my subs deserve. That being said, have some big breaking news for you today, folks. And if you're living in a sanctuary city, I'm pretty sure that you can, give me an analogous statement, just like I'm about to give you. Now, these aren't black and white facts on paper that you can read, right? No, these are analogous statements. These are opinions that I have gathered from living in a sanctuary city, these past 50 years now. So that being said, there is a mass exodus going on right now, folks. A mass exodus of illegals. Yep. How do I know this? Well, I know this from seeing, from just the place that I live at, apartment complexes. Parking place after parking place after parking space is empty. Okay, guys, this is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show with some video to show you. This is Monday night, a little after 12 a.m., a work night. And look at all the spaces that are missing from this complex. Now, this complex, we are in a sanctuary city here in Texas where I live. This complex is one of the base stations that houses a lot of the illegals here in the town that I live in. Like I said, all the spaces on that back row nearly are gone. The spaces in front are missing. I'll try not to trip over my own feet as I walk sideways, backwards. But look at that. Look at that, folks. And of course it is nightfall, way past nightfall, after 12 a.m. on Monday, the 19th. Officially, the morning the electors are going to elect our president, Donald J. Trump. And as you see here, folks, he's already completing one of his initial biggest promises, and that was to get rid of all the criminal illegals. And guess what? They're all criminals. They're illegal, hence they're criminals. Look at that. Space after space after space. What a big disgrace. I guess they can go back south where it's a little warmer. This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show and InstinctForSurvival.com. Good night. Now, these spaces used to be full of illegal alien families, right? Mother, father, 5 to 6 to 7 children. That's right. And they were all huge. They were all fat, bouncing around, on our taxpayer dollars? Well, they are mass deporting. And as I said, this is simply an analogous statement. If you live in a sanctuary city as I do, please drop a comment below to to either support or to retort the statement that I made, right? Just my opinion, just what I have seen, But it is an educated opinion from a person who has been surrounded by illegals, well, for at least 15 years. The last 10 have been really, really bad. That's right. Bush and Obama. Terrible. Absolutely horrible as far as it pertains to the enforcement of the laws on the books pertaining to illegal immigration in our country. And they have been on the books since the 1960s. But in 1986, they revamped these laws to get Reagan to go ahead and sign that amnesty that big business wanted so bad, right? And the Democrats, they wanted that voting bloc, right? So, Reagan screwed us the first time around. And these laws have been on the books. And the laws I'm talking about are the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1986, right? These laws were revamped. They were strengthened. And this was to get the Republican members and their constituency to go along with the first amnesty, right? So Reagan, right, he was the first Mr. Amnesty. Obama was seeking to be Mr. Amnesty 2.0. Bush, he was just a bridge from Mr. Amnesty 1 to potential Mr. Amnesty 2.0. That bridge has been blown up, folks. They are mass deporting. Apartments are emptying up. Parking spaces are empty. Streets in my city, once full of activity, illegal activity, are now they're open. They're open and easy to travel on. The wrecks have diminished by 50% in my city alone. And that I can tell you for a fact because my younger brother is a lieutenant for the PD in the town that I live in. So that being said, let's get down to why a month before our president is inaugurated, why are they already leaving en masse now? Well, they're leaving en masse now because if they get deported, they don't get to take their shit with them. They get deported and their shit gets divvied up between, either the landlord that owns the property they are renting, and the maintenance people and whatnot, or the city they have rented in or bought property in. If they're deported, they lose everything. If they leave on their own, well, they have an opportunity to take everything with them and have a lot of American given, because we gave that to them, right? American given appliances, cars, whatnot, right? That they'll be able to barter with in Mexico to set themselves up with a better life than they left. Because in Mexico, guess what, folks? They don't have welfare. In Mexico, if you don't work, you don't eat. They don't have free education in Mexico. Guess what? If you don't pay, you don't go to school. So, I say America becomes a little bit more like Mexico. Because, Let's face it, folks. The Mexico is number 2 in natural resources. So the elites in Mexico, well, they've pushed out all the poor, undesirable, um, you know, least of them and pushed them over here across to our border so that we could take care of them. The whole time we're giving Mexico billions of dollars in aid for this issue and that issue, and they're number 2 in natural resources. And they're sending all of their poor, and not only their poor, folks, but because they refuse to help us secure the southern border that we share, well, the worst of the worst from Central America are traveling through Mexico. The worst of the worst from China, the worst of the worst from all of the Middle Eastern states, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, I mean, you name it. They're all being funneled to the United States of America via that open southern border of ours, right? Well, guess what? Mr. President, who has not yet been inaugurated, already bringing back jobs, already bringing in individuals, folks. Because guess what? You know, all of those tech billionaires, shit, every single solitary person, let's say Rahm Emanuel, the mayor, the lawless mayor of Chicago, well, they were all brought in to be called to the carpet, right? They were called in and they were given the business up one side and down the other, so to speak, from our president. Our president who sees America as an extension of himself and vice versa. So he's not calling these people in to be buddy-buddy with them. Because let me tell you something. Because of what Big Ears Barry Obama was allowed to get away with from our useless establishment politicians on the right and the left, well, that just secured that the Donald, not a social, not a community organizer, but a true leader, Mr. Americana, Mr. America, Donald J. Trump, is going to have all the power that the Congress did not fight back on Obama, and 10 times more. If you thought, lefties, and this is why the lefties are all scared, this is what they know. They know that under them, the power of the office of the presidency of the United States of America has grown to such a large, insurmountable behemoth, right? He has so much power now. Thank you, Democrats. Thank you, Obama, that none of you will be able to stop his renovation of America. This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show. And as I said again, so let me go ahead and reiterate, folks. After the beginning of the year, you will be receiving social commentary, historical commentary, political commentary, all of the commentary that you have subscribed to this channel to receive. You will be receiving from myself, Joe Wayne, once again after the new year. And another bit of news for you folks. I am working very hard this Christmas season to make sure that I get the Anti-COINTELPRO Show, the radio show, on air by March of 2017. This is my goal, and I'm going to start the show, on a temporary basis to see if, there's any support to hear what I have to say. It's going to be a 3-hour show, and this is just laying the groundwork any and everything could change with a blink of an eye. But as it stands now, I am looking to produce a 3-hour show 3 days a week. Depending on how that show goes, I will either retract or I will progress, right, into a 5-day, maybe 6-day-a-week show like Jones. Who knows? Let's see how it goes. But just know this one thing, folks, we are in it together. This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show and InstinctForSurvival.com. Good day.